Welcome, folks. Those out there in Texas and tuning in for the TACAC Texas ACAC Virtual College Fair. My name is Earl. I am the StrivesCan representative who it was helping out tonight. And just a few housekeeping items before we launch our particular fair tonight. So. Because your camera is off and your mic is off on the other side, the presenters cannot see you or hear you. But to ask questions, you can direct that specifically within the Q&A function of your toolbar to get questions answered. Since this is the last TACAC event, there aren't any more sessions to sign up for, and a reminder that this session is being recorded so that you will have access to that at the link that you have signed up for this program. One other thing is that after we get done with our presentation, our last college to present tonight will be American University of Paris. I do encourage you to hang on. We will do a round robin Q&A with our panelists. So I, again, encourage you to just hang tight and listen to the advice that they have to share with you. So, all right. Let me just move screens here. I am going to post in the chat, in our chat function, before we start, the order and how we will present tonight. It will be simply just like that. So the University of Toronto, John Cabot University, Brock University, Bishop's University, and the American University of Paris. So without further ado, I'm gonna hand it off to Courtney. We're gonna hear about the University of Toronto. Again, don't forget about the Q&A function in your chat.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us again. My name is Courtney and I'm a recruitment officer with the University of Toronto. So thanks for taking some time to learn about some international options this evening. Now we each have a very short amount of time. So I do want to sort of highlight three key takeaways from my presentation. The first is that the University of Toronto is Canada's #1 university. We're also a network of unique communities right in the heart of a dynamic, diverse cosmopolitan region. And that U of T students can mix and match programs and experiences to build truly personalized degrees. So let's get started. The University of Toronto is Canada's best university, and we have an incredible reputation for our academics, faculty, and research. We were founded in 1827, and since then, our faculty, alumni, and students are leaders in discovery and innovation. And in fact, more research-based startups have come out of U of T than any other university in North America. A lot of people know, for example, that insulin was discovered at U of T, but did you know that stem cell research started here too? We've also produced Oscar winners, Olympic champions, prime ministers, Nobel laureates, and best-selling authors like Margaret Atwood and Malcolm Gladwell. The second takeaway is that U of T is a network of unique communities in the heart of one of the most dynamic regions in the world. When you live in Toronto, you live just steps from hundreds of vibrant communities and neighborhoods, each with its own distinct character and flavor. The BBC once ranked us the world's most diverse city, and while there's definitely a lot of contenders for that title, we're definitely up there. And in fact, half of Toronto's population was born outside of Canada and speaks languages other than English. And while we are Canada's largest university, each student at U of T is part of a smaller community where you can really feel at home. One of the layers of community you'll find at U of T are our campuses. All three are located within 1 hour of each other in downtown Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area, and they all offer the same high quality of education, and they're self-contained, offering our students everything they need from academic support to student life. And when you graduate, you're earning a University of Toronto degree, regardless of which campus you choose. It's critical to us that all U of T students have not just a home base, but a team that's there to support you and cheer you on. We want you to be happy and reaching your full potential, and that's why each of our campuses is also home to a wide range of student services. For example, your professors and TAs will hold weekly office hours to work with you one-on-one, and you can take advantage of academic and personal counseling services across our programs. U of T students really do take advantage of these services, and so much so that 91% of first-year students move on to second year. The third and final takeaway that I mentioned at the beginning was the ability for a U of T student to mix and match programs to personalize and build their own degree. And with 700 program areas across our campuses, there's no shortage of opportunities to do this. At U of T, many programs are available on all 3 of our campuses, allowing students the option to choose in which environment they'd like to study. Other programs are unique to a specific campus. So for example, the St. George campus offers over 50 different languages in the arts, forensic science is at our Mississauga campus, and journalism is at our Scarborough campus. If you're interested in studying engineering, we have a number of different ways to do that. From our 8 core programs you can apply to directly from high school in areas like computer, civil, mechanical, and more. We also have an undecided first year called Track 1, where you can then go into one of our core 8 programs. And finally, we offer engineering science, which is a premier enriched math and science program, in addition to specialized majors like aerospace engineering. The 3 remaining communities on your screen are the smallest at U of T and are unique to the St. George campus downtown. Those include our Architectural and Visual Studies program, hosted by our Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design, our Kinesiology program, which is the study of human movement, and our Faculty of Music, which offers conservatory-style programming and lots of opportunities for ensembles. You can also customize your degree through your co-curricular record, which is a great way to apply what you're learning in the classroom to the real world through things like paid work placements, as well as research opportunities. We have formal exchange partners, in fact, with over 140 institutions, as well as a plethora of other opportunities through summer abroad options, paid externships, and international course modules that count towards your degree. And as Canada's largest university, you can get involved with any of our 1,000 different student clubs, our 44 varsity blues teams, or our intramural sports program. So if all this is sounding pretty good, let's touch briefly on admissions. You can see here a quick timeline to help you visualize the process, and you'll see it's pretty similar to schools in the US. We encourage students to submit their application by early November, which gives you plenty of time to submit your required documents, complete a self-reported grades form, and any other supplemental applications that may be required for admission. One thing to note is that we have extended our test optional policy for an additional year. So if there's any juniors tuning in, you don't need to worry about submitting test scores when you apply to U of T. The last thing I'll mention is our scholarships. We're pleased to offer a range of scholarships varying in value for international students, and students are automatically considered for these awards with no separate application required. Our largest scholarship is our Lester B. Pearson Scholarship, and this one covers 4 years of tuition, residence, books, and fees, and does require a nomination by your high school. I'm happy to answer any questions about it in the chat. And with that, I'll go ahead and wrap up. Please feel free to visit our Discover U of T website to sign up for future sessions, including an individual meeting with me, or ask any questions in the Q&A. Thanks, everybody.
Great, Courtney. Thanks so much. All right. Again, just a reminder to take advantage of the Q&A function to pose your questions to specific colleges and the representatives. Okay, so next up we do have Ramsey from John Cabot, and looks like he's off and ready to go. Ramsey, all is yours here.
Thank you very much. Yes, so my name is Ramsey. I'm an admissions counselor for John Cabot University, and I'm also an alumnus of John Cabot. I graduated from there close to 4 years ago. But John Cabot is an American university in Rome, so that means we are an accredited university by the United States. So you can get that American degree and bring it back to the US. We are a small liberal arts institution, so just over 1,000 students, but we do have students from over 70 countries. So very multicultural environment. You're constantly meeting people from around the world. I can tell you from my experience, that's a huge part of the education, is not only learning from your professors, but the people around you. But as you can see, we have, very small class sizes, average class size of 15 students. You get to know your professor, especially over there for, if you're over there for 4 years and you repeat some professors, you really get to know them like friends. But I will touch on the campus and, the financial aid and tuition, of course, and all of that. A few things to know right off the bat. So our style is very ingrained in the Roman environment. We love to take the students outside of the classroom and use Rome as a resource. So this is on-site learning and learning by doing. It's all summed up in experiential learning. Rome has so many good resources, and I can tell you, when I was there, shooting photography in the streets of Rome or going to certain museums to actually see the work of art that you're talking about in an art history class or something like that, it really changes the way you learn. So that's a huge thing at John Cabot. We really love to take the students outside of the classroom. Our professors, I mean, a lot of them are in Rome to be teaching at John Cabot. So they're very dedicated to making the experience very special. And they come from some of the best backgrounds and, best universities in the world. They're also very multicultural, professors from all around the world. So you're constantly learning new things, learning new cultures, learning new backgrounds, other people's experiences. I think that's a huge part of education. Of course, COVID is a thing, but Italy's doing a lot better. We're hoping that fall 2021, we're going to be a lot closer to normalcy. But of course, we're doing it in the safest way possible. Got to wear a mask, got to do all of that. And we've had a hybrid model for fall and spring. So one week in person and 1 week online. But we're hoping that fall 21 is going to be a lot better. I think we're on the up here. But yeah, we have 14 majors and 19 minors. I actually majored in communications and minored in humanistic studies. We do have a bunch of support services for our students when you're going through some stuff. The Writing Center is a huge thing. I definitely use that for a lot of my essays. Having some English professors help you out with an essay is pretty valuable. But yeah, here's our list of majors. We have as well all of these as minors and a few more like philosophy and mathematics. But yeah, if you guys have questions about specific majors, I'd love to answer those in the Q&A. Something huge at John Cabot is our career services. So it's very likely that you do get an internship while you're at John Cabot. Putting yourself in that international environment, not only is it international, but a professional international environment. We have partnerships with over 650 companies. We invite these companies 3 times a year to come to the campus, and you can put yourself and see what they're looking for in an applicant, give them your resume, hopefully get an interview. And it just sets you aside from so many other students. When you're applying for jobs afterwards, you already have some professional experience, you've lived in an international place. So all these things just kind of set you aside from a lot of other people. We do have a lot of student services because we're not a giant school. We put a lot into our student-led clubs and organizations. So we have clubs from theater society to newspaper club to film and photography, fashion, grassroots. There's the African Studies Club. So lots of different ways to get involved. And what's nice is that all of our John Cabot students are very like-minded and appreciate culture and diversity. So I know I keep saying students from around the world, but it really is true. In our trips and activities, we do day trips and weekend trips around the area and, to different cities when we can go further away. Our activities are great because it's very ingrained in the Italian culture. And I mean, I'm sure you guys know Italian culture is amazing. Cooking some pizza, learning different ways to cook some pasta or make it with yourself. Yeah, lots of different ways to just be involved in the community. We do have athletics, so soccer is our biggest team there, of course, because it's Italy, but we also have basketball and volleyball and cheerleading and a few of the other sports. But yeah, lots of different kind of student services for our students. Here's our tuition. So it's just under 27,000, and that's without any scholarship, including the health insurance and the meal plan. We do take the FAFSA because we are an American institution, and then we have our own need-based and merit-based scholarship. So there's a few ways to kind of bring that tuition down. As you can see, over 85% of our students do receive a scholarship from us. So very likely that you do. I'll just show you a few pictures of our campus. It's an urban campus, so a few buildings right near each other in Rome, just short walks from each other. Our Critelli campus is our newest building. Guarini is our oldest building, but lots of terraces to watch, the sunset over Rome or go study on the terrace. Weather is beautiful in Rome, barely gets very, very cold the whole year. Our Tiber campus, where our cafeteria is, another short walk down the road. And then we also have an art studio. It's nice to have your own space for doing art, if you're into sculpting or drawing or whatever it is. This is nice to have that, your own space. We do have housing, so our housing are more apartment style. They're all pretty similar in that they're all apartment style, they're just different in location. Applying is just like applying to any other American institution. We are on the Common App, transcripts, letters of recommendation, and the personal essay, and most likely an interview with me because I'm the U.S. admissions counselor. But that's my time. Thank you guys for joining today. And if you wanted to scan that QR code really quick, it'll have all the information I was talking about today. Thanks.
Thanks, Ramsey. I'm going to pass the baton off to Colin from Brock University. So Colin, you're up.
Okay, great. Yes, thank you for having me today. I just want to clarify, as you can see, I'm not Karen Dancy, who is shown in this first slide. My colleague Karen had an emergency, so I'm jumping in to present for Brock University today. I'm very happy to be presenting to you today. I am a two-time alumnus of Brock University. I completed both my bachelor's degree in music and my master's degree in education at Brock, and I've been working at Brock for over 12 years. So I love to talk about all of the amazing experiences I've had and give you a brief overview of what we have to offer. So we are a medium-sized university located in the Niagara region of Ontario, Canada. Of course, Ontario is the largest population province for population in Canada, and we are only an hour drive from the Toronto airport. So it's very easy to fly in from wherever you are in Texas to the Toronto airport and take a quick airport shuttle to Brock University. So when I say medium-sized university in Ontario, what does that mean? Well, we have 19,000 students, and we have a very diverse campus with students from over 100 countries, which is about 13% of our population being international students. We are able to offer 70 undergraduate programs and 49 master's and PhD programs. So we are a fully comprehensive university with a great mixture of very small class learning undergraduate programs and very intensive research programs as well. Just to give you a sense of where Brock's located, so there you see we're very close to Toronto, about an hour drive from the Toronto airport, as I mentioned, and about an hour and a half to downtown Toronto. So you might, we have a couple other Canadian universities with this session, which is great. But you may be asking why you may want to study in Canada as an American citizen. So first of all, we have great internationally recognized degrees. The majority of universities in Canada are publicly funded. So that means we have to maintain very high standards because we are monitored by the government. It's very affordable. Of course, your money goes a lot further in Canada. It's about $20,000 US per year for your tuition, and your all costs in between $30,000 to $36,000, depending on your housing and food costs. It's also great because you can still use your FAFSA student loans at Brock University to pay for your tuition. And we're one of the best universities in Canada for co-op opportunities. If you're not familiar with co-op, a co-op program is a program where you have paid work experiences that are integrated in the structure of your program. And at Brock University, you always have a minimum of 3 paid work experiences. So it's a great way to make money as you study, to help with your tuition costs, but more importantly, to gain valuable work experience and explore different career opportunities. And if you are as an international student, which you would be as an American citizen in Canada, you can work part-time while you are taking courses. And you also will qualify for a postgraduate work permit of 3 years when you graduate. So you can choose to pursue a full-time job in Canada after you complete your degree. So there are many reasons why international students choose to study at Brock University, but these are the top 5 most common reasons. So it's very safe in the Niagara region and in Canada in general. Very affordable. I mentioned our affordable tuition. Your dollar is going a lot further because of the Canadian tuition or Canadian currency rate. We have amazing reputation for international student support at Brock. We're very popular for those co-op programs and other career-driven programming, such as internship courses, field placement courses, and experiential learning courses. And we, in comparison to the average in Ontario for universities, our graduates have a higher employment rate after graduation. So there's a really great value with the Brock University degree. Yeah, I kind of touched on this. We are one of the best experiential learning universities in Ontario. We place a big emphasis on connecting our students directly with outside organizations, small businesses, with nonprofit organizations. And sometimes you will get credit for the projects that you're working on, for your course credit based on those projects with those outside organizations. Yeah, I talked a little bit about co-op already. We do have 40 co-op programs. I really encourage you to explore our co-op programs. Those are really some of the best programs for combining that work experience with, of course, all the theory and knowledge you're gaining from your lectures and seminar classes. There's a beautiful campus on the right-hand side. Just a couple things about admissions. So you need a minimum B average for admissions to the majority of programs. It's important to note that SAT and ACT tests are not required for admission to Brock University. Majority of programs you can still apply right now. We will continue to accept applications until the late spring. There's only those few very competitive programs that are already closed. But we do have programs in 6 main faculties: applied health science, business, education, humanities, fine and performing arts, math and science, and social sciences. Sorry, yes, they're all listed here. I don't have enough time to go through them all. I just have about a minute left. But anywhere you see this blue square, that means we offer the co-op in those programs. So I really encourage you to go to the Brock website and explore our programs a little further. And we also have a really great virtual tour. We're also offering actually live guided tours. You can register on our website. Even though most students are not on campus right now because of the coronavirus, you can still do a live guided tour, or you can use this virtual tour feature to really explore our campus. That's I wasn't from the Niagara region originally, and touring the Brock campus is what made me choose Brock. So I hope you can at least enjoy the virtual tour. And finally, please stay connected with us. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we have our at Brock International. And there you can scan this QR code with any questions or email kdancy@brocky.ca. Thanks a lot.
Great, Colin. Thanks so much. Again, just want to encourage you guys to continue asking questions through the Q&A. And we've got 2 more universities left. Jeremy from Bishop's University is up next, and Jen from American University in Paris is on deck. So Jeremy, off you go.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Jeremy. Like Earl was saying, I'm from Bishop's University. I'm an admission and recruitment officer for Bishop's University. Bishop's University was founded in 1843, so we're one of the oldest campuses within Canada. You could truly see the history of the building all across our campus. A lot of people tend to say our campus looks like Hogwarts, and I don't disagree with that. Despite us being located in the French province of Quebec, Canada, our university is 100% in English, meaning that the evaluations, the classes, the interactions, and the surrounding community is 100% in English. You're still going to get a very traditional American experience when you come to Bishop's University. We are a smaller university, meaning that we have less than 3,000 students on our campus, 25% of which are coming from 80 countries across the world, and 5% of that 25% is from the States. 75% of our student population is domestic, meaning across Canada, and part of our centralized traditional American experience and residential campus means that 97% of the entire student population lives within walking distance. It truly gives a unique experience, and it's something I would highly recommend experiencing if you do decide to come to Bishop's University. One of the cool things about Bishop's is our liberal education model. So it gives the freedoms for students to explore and discover their true interest. You are also able to tailor your degree through electives to find the exact degree or interest or field of study that you really want to be in. For example, I studied computer science, and I was able to tailor my degree to also minor in business. So I had a perfect combination of computer science and business, both of my biggest interests. One of the cool things about Bishop's as well is that we're highly focused on experiential learning. So we offer a whole bunch of opportunities for students who might be interested in taking advantage of those. We have a whole bunch of undergrad opportunities available with the hospital that we have in partnership, as well as our partnership university, our larger university, the University de Sherbrooke, UDS. We also have cooperative educational experiences opportunities. Like Colin was saying, it is an organized placement by the university, which is completely integrated with your education. And if you do 3 co-op internships, you'll get a co-op profile on your transcripts, meaning that you've worked and excelled within the field of study, which does give you a step up compared to other students. One of the cool things about Bishop's University too is that we're highly focused on academic excellence. So we really do give multiple opportunities for students to grow and become the best versions of themselves. And we do so by one of the ways in our most popular program is the Career Development Center. So students who there's 2 ways that could go in there. Students who go into their first year and realize that the field of study that they're in is not the field of study that they want to continue. You can go see the career development counselor, and they'll be able to find what you loved so much about the degree, what was the reason you entered, and maybe what else you could excel in. So it kind of helps you guide and find something else that may be interesting you. Another way is, let's say you are in medicine and you want to become a doctor, and that's your ultimate career goal. What are the next steps that you have to achieve? What are the GPAs that you have to do? What are the experiences you have to do? It kind of creates a very clear path for you to achieve your ultimate career goals. tools. Another thing that we do offer as well that's available for all students is the writing center. So oftentimes students tend to lose a lot of grades based on small grammar mistakes. And part of our philosophy at Bishop's is we don't want to hinder their students based on grammar mistakes. We truly want to evaluate students on the contents of the paper. So they're able to book an appointment at the writing center, and all these small little grammar mistakes will be corrected by a professional. And oftentimes we see a 10% increase in grades. So there's multiple different opportunities like that. I'm just touching the surface of what we do offer for students to truly excel. Our tuition prices, similar to Cullen, is around 25,000 Canadian dollars. Please look at the latest conversion rate to see how much it is in USD. We do expect for students in their first year to pay around 37,000 Canadian dollars. So that it does include accommodations, so room and board and meals. It does include books and supplies for your actual degree. We also offer a whole bunch of scholarship opportunities ranging up to 20,000 Canadian dollars. It is a merit-based scholarship, meaning that we don't offer any scholarships based on financial needs or other issues. However, we do also have awards available up to $8,000. So that's $28,000 up for grabs. And the government of Canada also offers great scholarship opportunities. So I would highly recommend taking a look at their website to see the latest scholarship opportunities they offer for international students. Our GPA for entry GPA level is a 80% or a 3.5 out of 4 GPA. We are test optional at many other Canadian universities, meaning that you don't have to take the SAT test. However, if you have taken it for any other American university, feel free to send it to us, and it may influence our decision, but our decision is highly based on your educational history or your grades from your previous years. The application process for Bishop's University is very, very simple. You just go into our website and you click on the big Apply Now button. Then you'll just have to complete the online application and pay the application fee, which is 65 Canadian dollars at the moment. Then you'll just have to submit your supporting documents. Oftentimes it's a school profile and transcript. Just submit the supporting documents. And the deadline for the actual application is by June 1st. So I highly recommend doing that. Just before I let you go for this short presentation, we do have an open house available on March 20th and 21st. It'll go in much greater depth of what we offer at Bishop's University and the experiences for international students. So I would highly recommend looking at our website. A schedule will be available, and you can just drop into the things that you might be interested in. And this is my personal email if you may have any more questions after this actual presentation. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys at the end of the tour.
All right, great. Thanks, Jeremy. Last but not least, we have Jen from American University of Paris. Before I launch to her presentation, I just want to remind our viewers that we will have a short Q&A after her presentation, and I've got some closing comments to wrap us up. So without further ado, Jen, you are off and ready to go.
Great. Well, bonjour. My name is Jen Boucher, and I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions with the American University of Paris. AUP is a private, urban, liberal arts university located in the heart of Paris, France, in the same neighborhood, the 7th arrondissement, as the Eiffel Tower. So think of us like an American university. All classes are in English, 4-year liberal arts semester system, fully accredited degrees, fully accredited American degrees, I should say, but we are located in Paris, France. So it really is an American degree in the European location. We have over 1,000 students from 100 countries, so no matter what class you're in, you're going to get very different perspectives, not only based on students' research, but also based on their background, beliefs, their upbringing, what makes them who they are today. About half our students do come from the US, but at the same time, many students, generally speaking, are multilingual, well-traveled, dual citizens, or have a desire for a global career. So our students tend to be more internationally minded, even from the very beginning. 16 is the average class size, 9:1 is the student to faculty ratio, and just like our students, our faculty are very diverse. They come from about 30 countries and 70% speak 3 or more languages. We have 26 majors and 39 minors in the fields of business, politics, communications, arts, and humanities with an international emphasis. We're very big on interdisciplinary education and experiential learning, so you'll find that many classes take you out into the city to explore. As you know, we're in Paris, France, in the 7th arrondissement. You'll see the Eiffel Tower is directly to your left. Hôtel des Invalides, where Napoleon's buried, is on the right, and you'll see our buildings circled right in between. If you were to walk across campus, it's maybe a 10 or 15-minute walk max, but in the middle where classes typically take place, it's about a 5 or 10-minute walk between classes. We're also an open urban campus, so we're surrounded by various businesses, museums, cafes, hotels, and restaurants. We have tons of events and activities for our students all throughout the year, but I want to highlight my favorite event called the World's Fair. This is very similar to a college fair, but every table is a different country with food from their homeland, so bon appetit. We also offer study trips. These are where students travel all over the world with their professor and classmates to experience what they've learned in the classroom in person. So think of trips like Shakespeare in London, psychology in Cairo, film in the Netherlands, or politics in Israel. Those are all academic trips, but we also offer cultural excursions that are more like fun, non-academic trips throughout France that range from a perfume making class in Paris to visiting cities or regions like Normandy or Nice for the weekend. Housing is a little bit unique compared to most universities. Instead of a dorm with the RA and the meal plan, we have more of an independent styled housing for our students. So keep in mind, we do have a housing office that will find and furnish residences for our students, but the type of housing will vary by semester since we are making some changes due to COVID-19. So students could live in apartments or maybe more traditional resident halls. We've also converted some hotels into resident halls lately that are filled with AUP students. So stay tuned for more information. Housing, though, is guaranteed and required for freshmen for the first year or for transfer students for the first semester. To apply to AUP, you would submit the common application, or you can apply to the university directly. You'll see all the application requirements listed here. 3.3 is the average unweighted GPA, and there's no required GPA to apply. We are test optional, always have been even before COVID-19, but the average SAT is 1265, average ACT is 30. We accept students for both the fall and the spring, but these are the deadlines that are for the fall in particular. Overall, the admissions office begins to read applications in mid-November, and students who apply should hear a response within about 3 to 4 weeks. For the spring, we would begin to read applications around September. Here is the cost of attendance, with the grand total being €50,402 per year, but of course that exact dollar amount would vary based on the exchange rate. Now, scholarships and loans, of course, are different options. We offer merit and also merit need combination scholarships that you can see listed here. So Global Citizen is a merit award, tuition, scholar, or need merit combination that would require FAFSA and a separate application to apply to AUP directly. 94% of our students have a job or are in grad school within 1 year of graduation. 80% report an international element to their career, and 50% report that a professor personally helped them on their career path. We have 20,000 alumni in 145 countries all over the world. So if you're looking for a global career, then we can be a really amazing starting point for you. And that is all. Feel free to be in touch if you'd like more information. And I think we'll wrap it up and pass it back on to Earl.
All right, folks. Thank you, Jen. Really appreciate everybody's presentation tonight. We're going to do a quick round robin of some helpful advice. We've got a little bit of time, and maybe we'll have perhaps just one question to be able to talk about. So we're going to go in presentation order. So Courtney, Ramsey, Colin, Jeremy, and then Jen. I know you may be repeating yourselves, but that's okay. If you think of something different, I just welcome you to share it. So here is the question of the day on my screen. You should see, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process presently? So Courtney, just jump on in and then we'll go from there.
Great. Yeah, no, I love giving advice to folks going through the college search process. It's a big part of my job. I think, like many of our panelists, I chose to study outside of the country where I was originally from. I'm from Michigan and I studied at U of T. And so I think I can see how valuable that experience is. And so I would just advise you to consider options outside of maybe what your friends are considering or what's close by to you. You know, this is a great time to really look at unique options like all of our schools that are outside of the US. And don't be afraid to reach out to us if you have questions. Oftentimes folks in the recruitment community either were, you know, international students themselves or maybe went on exchange and can give you some personal insight as well.
Perfect. Let's hear from Ramsey.
Yeah, I would say most schools now have an option to talk to a current student. I would definitely use that. I think it helps sometimes not to talk to someone, you know, who's older or who works for the university or something like that, but someone who actually attends it right now. I think that would give you some insight on whether or not you can see yourself there.
Great. Colin.
Yeah, I mean, my comment would be related to what a lot of institutions are doing right now because of the coronavirus. I mean, institutions and their recruitment officers, representatives are probably more accessible now than they ever have been, with all the online open houses and special presentations. I mean, at Brock, we offer individual one-on-one advising sessions with any interested student. So I really encourage you to get on all the different websites and see what they're offering, because you can probably get way more information than you usually could, because everyone's online and doing providing these type of services.
Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, most people went through exactly what I was going to talk about, but one thing I would add to that is that definitely when you're looking through the college process, look at what experience you really want to have when you go to a school. So try to find a university or a college that matches the ultimate experience you would like to get at the school that you're going through, whether that be cooperative educational opportunities or more what's the word I was looking for? Cultural experiences. Find something that matches you, not just the prestige of a school per se.
Great. Jen, wrap us up.
A lot of universities require that you submit a supplemental essay, and many times this essay will ask you why you want to attend the university. If the universities that you are attending ask that question, think of yourself as a student at the school, not as a tourist. So for example, being in Paris, it'd be a bad idea to focus on the Eiffel Tower, eating croissants, falling in love. Those are all things that you can do as a tourist in Paris, but you want to focus on what you like about the school in particular. So overall, whatever schools you apply to, focus on the student experience, not the tourist experience.
Great. All right. So to close this out, I just wanted to, again, thank everyone for joining us. Quick housekeeping things. You'll get a quick survey as we log off here. Please help us make StrifeCan sessions better by doing that. And again, the recording of this will be available at that URL there below at the website that you signed up for this. So I'm going to come back on screen. I'm going to hopefully get everybody here, and we're just going to say goodnight and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Courtney, Jen, Colin, Ramsey, Jeremy, thanks again. We really appreciate you doing this for us. So good night, folks. Have a great night. Bye-bye now.